Hi folks, I just thought I'd do an update on the 2022 KTM 300 XC. I mentioned in my first video that I was sort of having a bit of trouble setting up the suspension on it. The forks were not really playing ball and I was sort of wondering what was going on. When I removed the bleeder on the air side of the fork, I got a lot of air out of it and the fork basically collapsed. So I pumped it back up and installed a fork bleeder so that I could bleed the air out of it, and then realized that air was leaking out of the bladder chamber and into the outer chamber, and then needed to be bled off and be losing a whole heap of pressure. So it made it tricky to set the fork up because of course it doesn't work very well when the air is in the outer chamber. It just doesn't perform properly. So I've booked it in for to take it up to the shop tomorrow to have it looked at. Obviously the bladder is leaking. I'm just going to hit the bleeder here now, and that's how much I'm getting out. And if I check the pressure on the air side, and there's the bike dropping down now. So it's interesting that I've been buying KTM since 2013. I have had lots of bikes with the air forks, probably 6 or 7, maybe 8 bikes with the air fork so far. Never had a problem with any of them. The early air forks, I put a MX Tech mid-valve kit in to soften up the mid-stroke on it because they had a certain amount of harshness to them. KTM must have picked up on that and done it on the 20. The 20 was better, the 21 was really, really good, and then the 2022 is even more plush again. But of course I'm having this little leaking problem. But I must say, only problem I've had out of all the KTM Huskies I've ever had, this is the first problem that the bikes needed to go back to the shop. The 2022 needed a little bit of tuning done. It needed the spark plug changed on the 2020 300 XC. Had trouble fouling plugs, which easily remedied by screwing out the air idle screw, winding out the power valve a little bit, and changing the spark plug to an iridium. I'm probably hazarding a guess that the 2022 and the 2021 comes with an iridium plug. I haven't checked it on either bike because it hasn't required it to be pulled out. The 2022 runs really nice and clean and crisp. Hard to see there on the video without some light in there, but it does run really clean. And so does the 21. They don't seem to run any hotter or cooler or anything than usual, so they seem to be tuned really good now. I'm really happy with it. Other than the front forks needing to go back in, and I would say they're going to need to be replaced or fixed, everything else has been really good on this bike. Performs really, really good. I had a little bit of a, it was sort of bogging just slightly when it was transitioning into power band. But once again, turned the power valve out about half a turn, and I did one full turn on the air idle screw, and that cleaned it right up. And other than that, it's been great. The back suspension feels great. When I first pump up the front and ride it before it has time to bleed into the other chamber, it's really good. So I'll let you guys know what happens after I get it back from the shop. But definitely the first problem I've ever had with one of these bikes, and I've had a ton of them. So it goes to show you that the quality of these bikes is pretty damn good, and I would say it was just one small problem that got overlooked on the manufacturing of the front forks. So thanks folks, I'll get back to you with another video of what happened with the repair on it.